Yeah, there we go. Share that. Um, Online claims of coronavirus vaccines being lethal arrived following a string of deaths in care homes that vaccinated residents. DW looks into cases around the world and what was behind them. And what I find quite interesting, or I was going to say amusing, it's not amusing, but um, the Paul Ehrlich Institute, which is in charge of vaccination in Germany, has been looking into 113 reported deaths in the country. In all these cases, those who died were aged from 79 to 93 years old and died between 1 hour and 19 days after receiving the vaccine. Of 113, 20 died as a result of the COVID-19 infection. 19 of them did not have full vaccination protection. The other case is still unclear. 43 people died as a result of pre-existing conditions, according to Bridget. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, based on the data that we have, we assume that the patients died of their underlying disease in a coincidental time with the vaccination. Isn't that kind of funny that if somebody dies with COVID, it's a COVID death. It's like COVID caused it. You know, it was like, oh, they had a comorbidity, but it was, they got COVID and it was COVID that it effectively killed them or brought on their death quicker. But whenever people get the vaccine, we assume that the patients died of their underlying disease and not because of the vaccine. It's and then it goes on to say they were very seriously ill patients with many underlying diseases. It just seems there's double standards, you know. It's like, it's, what do you reckon on that? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just trusting of.
Yeah, but the thing is, and this is what's kind of scary, is that if you even ask questions now, you're labeled an anti-vaxxer. It's like, if you ask questions about the safety of a vaccine, it's like, oh, you're one of them. You know, it's straight away tarred with that brush. What do you call it? You're familiar with the British Medical Journal? It's a very well-respected medical journal in the world. It's one of the top respected ones. And Peter Doshi, he is the what do you call it, assistant editor or something like that, and he raised questions on the Pfizer vaccine. He's saying they're the 95% effective vaccines. We need more details in the raw data, because they removed people from the trial during it for undisclosed reasons. People can go on here and read this, but I had pointed this out to Matthew. I was like, here, have you seen this? And I had sent him the link to it about the raw data not being available. You know, Matthew's a scientist. He'll be qualified with his he'll be qualified as a chemist this year. So
this year, how long's that been?
Hey, he's 1 year getting into the college, the sort of entry program, and then 4 years in the course. So this is the fourth year. I think he's sort of focusing more on the what do you call it, the chemistry side of things. So I thought, Matthew's got a scientific mind, and I'll give him this to read, and it's on a reputable, it's the opinion, but it's the it's this guy Peter Doshi. And then straight away what Matthew did was he typed in Peter Doshi's name into the search, and let's see, this is on DuckDuckGo that I'm on. One of the first things comes up in the search, especially if you're on Google. I think on Google this comes up first, this respectful insolence, whenever you see Peter Doshi's name. And it's basically, right. Aye, Peter Doshi is at least borderline anti-vaccine and has been casting doubt on vaccine efficacy since 2009. Earlier this month, he posted a badly flawed analysis casting doubt on the efficacy of the Moderna and Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines. So
This is a hit piece.
yeah, it's a fucking smear campaign.
It's a hit, but it's super obvious straight away from the title.
It's
because it's like what the fuck are you attacking this dude for?
Yeah,
you know,
this is it. And look down here, it's through it all. He's played the victim card that people who are borderline anti-vaccine or anti-vaccine love to play, claiming that they're just asking questions, and that anyone who
that's super scientific. You're not supposed to ask questions in the scientific community. You know, that's This keeps them.
That's exactly what science is asking questions. Like, so it's mad to see this as well, and it does seem to be, if anybody mentions anything questioning the vaccine, it's like you're an anti-vaxxer, and it's like, whoa. I've been vaccinated as a child against measles, mumps, rubella, and all that.
We all have been. That's the thing on our arm, though, the round thing on our arm.
Yeah.
And it's
that's where the microchip is.
No, but that's the weird one. Look, it was a weird injection because you had it's a round, it's not like a normal syringe.
Yeah.
What was that vaccine?
I think it was several needles at once. It was like being inoculated for a few things, so it was like all at once.
Really? But it's kind of horrifying, no?
Nah, it doesn't bother me. It hasn't negatively affected me as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that really interesting that that's one of the first things that comes up, especially on Google, is that why is Peter Doshi still an editor at the BMJ?
BMJ sounds pretty dirty as an abbreviation. I don't know.
What would the M stand for?
Big motherfucking
job. Jobby. And then there was have you heard of Hank Aaron?
Maybe it sounds like a person's name.
It is. Hank Aaron was I think he was a baseball player. I think it was baseball, African American guy, and he made a whole big deal about getting the vaccine there a few weeks back. It was actually probably a month or more back, because Black people are quite skeptical about vaccines because of something that happened back in the 30s. I'm not sure what exactly it was.
You're not talking about the crack epidemic.
It's different. Totally different. But no, there was a I can't remember what exactly it was, but he had made a whole big sort of show. He's an old man, like he was 86 or something like that, and he made a big thing about getting the vaccine to show other Black people that this is something that we need to do, and he was very grateful to be getting the vaccine. 2 weeks later, he died. And if you look up his name now, Google it and try and see what comes up.
But the distrust in the African American community in America, I thought it's not just with something like that. What I heard is that there's the distrust in authority altogether. I mean,
yeah.
I know you can't. Some people don't normally link, the police with the health services and things like that. But it's all part of the same package. So if some part of the government, if it's a police officer, that does something, without question to you, it's very hard to trust another authority figure, even if it's in a different profession, but it's still the government. I mean, so I don't know. This is all depressing shit. Let's talk about Wall Street. Let's talk about Wall Street bets.